welcome back to the homestead. Over the last year or so that we've been doing YouTube videos, you all have gotten to know Sprite pretty well, and so we wanted to give you a little update on her health. She has had a couple of health concerns which are not abnormal for a dog of her age. She's about 15 and a half, and so we took her into the vet a little while back for her normal exam, and they said that she did need her teeth looked at and cleaned. So we took her in to have that done. We knew it was going to be a fairly extensive procedure. It's definitely one that I was very concerned about with her age and the fact that she has had some difficulty with anesthesia in the past. But they removed 16 teeth, and now all of the teeth that she has left are all healthy and should last her hopefully well for the rest of her life. A dog has 42 teeth, so there's your fact for the day. So she does still have well over half of her teeth. It's been 2 weeks since her surgery, and she is actually doing really, really well. She did have a lot of discomfort when we picked her up initially from the vet. She cried a lot on the way home, which was really, really hard for me. This was definitely a decision that I struggled with a lot because of her age and just being afraid that she wouldn't come through it well. And seeing her very drugged up and upset and in pain was very difficult. But in the long run, it has definitely been for the better of her health. She does seem perkier and happier, and she is eating better. So we are really glad that we did go ahead and take care of that.
Yeah, we noticed for the last couple months, maybe 3 months, she was real picky on eating. Yeah, you were picky. And she would sometimes like not eat for the day, but then she would just gorge herself that night. And we've had to be real, had to really think about what we fed her. Like, she wouldn't eat any of her kibble, and sometimes she would eat some of our like chicken or steak or whatever. Sometimes she wouldn't. And now she's actually 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks out of surgery. She crunches her kibble down like it's going out of style. So she definitely had a sore mouth, and she's definitely way more active. She'll run around and play a lot more than she was. So it was a tough decision because at almost 16 years old, it's a pretty invasive surgery for an older dog. And yeah, I mean, it's expensive too, but we didn't really count that. We don't really look at that with the dog. I mean, the dog is part of the family, and the way we look at it is we'd spend that kind of money on a family member if they needed it. So, but that is something to keep in mind. That is an expensive surgery, if budget is an issue. But
yeah, the cost of the cleaning and extractions came to just under $800 at our local vet. So if you are looking at an extensive mouth surgery on your dog, that's probably the ballpark that you're going to be looking in. But again, as Ryan said, in this case, that really wasn't a factor for us in the decision because she is a family member and we've had her a very, very long time, and we want her to live out the best life that she possibly can. So after that, she was starting to heal up, and we felt pretty good about the whole situation, and we were getting ready to go over to a friend's house one evening, and I let her outside to go potty, and all of a sudden she was not able to walk straight or hold herself up, and she was sort of having convulsions. She was pulling up her feet in alternating patterns and holding them up. That was extremely scary for us. What we did find out is that she had a seizure, and it was a mild seizure. We have been monitoring her ever since. She has not had another one in the last slightly more than a week now, since the first one. And it's not terribly uncommon for dogs to have a seizure, especially a one-off type seizure. It does sometimes just happen, if that happens, you definitely should consult with your vet and make sure that you're eliminating any possible triggers and giving them the care that they need. But hers was very mild. We were able to basically just comfort her and keep her out of any danger while it passed. And within about 5 minutes, she was actually basically back to normal and she was able to stand and walk. But it was very, very scary because it almost seemed like she had paralysis on one side because she would stumble and fall over that way anytime you weren't holding her up. So a few scary incidents, but right now she seems to be doing really well. She's very active, as you can see. She's ready to go and do some stuff. She's been running around the yard having a good time. So that's sort of the Sprite update for the current, and we'll keep on monitoring her health and keep letting you guys know what it is that we're doing to keep her well and make sure that she is with us and happy as long as possible.
And she's excited because now that we have the camper, she's going to get a bunch of new states this winter, right? She's lived in California, Washington, and Maine. So she's going to spend a few months in Florida this year in the camper. She loves to travel. She'll sit right on the center console in the Dodge, as you may or may not have seen in a couple of videos, and just watch out the window or take a nap. But she rides very well. She really does like to travel. Once you get going, the first 15 or 20 minutes, I think she's excited. She thinks she's going somewhere close. But once you actually get going down the road, she settles in. She's a great traveler. She does pretty good in the camper, alone during the day if we have to go do something. She usually finds some place to curl up and sleep. She has we bought a little folding ottoman. It's a lot like these folding chairs, so we could put her feet up on it in the camper in front of the couch. And the first day we left her in the camper, we left her plenty of places to sleep, plenty of blankets, plenty of everything. And we came home that afternoon from where we were, and she was in the middle of that little ottoman. She had launched up onto that, and she was curled up in that. So we call her Danger Dog. She likes to get into mischief for sure. So
I think that's about all we've got for the Sprite update. We'll try and get back to you with how many states she's actually been to. I think she's been to almost half. So thanks for joining us, and don't forget to like and subscribe.